Yeah.
I am recording. All right. There we go. All right, we're rolling.
All right.
Awesome, man. Cool. It's good to be back with everybody, man. Nice mug there, Andy. Very cool.
Travis, what are
Staying
you
caffeinated is
eating?
important. It's good to see everybody.
Some teriyaki chicken.
Nice.
Hog meat sandwich. Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, they wouldn't have this in the wastelands, though. This would be a delicacy for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Teriyaki dog and cat.
They do. Maybe
that's
maybe
very
one
timely.
teriyaki place made it, and that's all the food there is. Yeah, especially now. Hey, what's going on? There he is.
Hey.
With his awesome vest.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
You are your dad. I
Nice.
swear.
So,
Now I am.
all right. So let's see here. So going around the horn here, it's looks like we've got the gangs all here. We've got Muskrat Tomb.
Yes, I remembered what my first name actually is. It's Cyprian. Cyprian Muskrat Tombs.
Cyprian Muskrat Tombs. We've got Cyprian Muskrat Tombs. We've got Keys Burn, Razor 12, and Komodo Jacoby, who have just recently found themselves engaged in a running firefight with a group of hovercycle riding bandits. They were able to overwhelm them with, firepower, guile, and a little bit of luck. And incest, they ended up rescuing a single vehicle caravan that seemed to be carrying vital supplies of chickens to a settlement some miles to the east. You guys have all sort of heard of, called the Citadel.
Yeah,
based on the chatter that you heard going on back and forth.
Yeah, the fucking chickens, man.
Chickens.
That was like
chickens.
a 3-hour battle for a thing of chickens.
A very precious commodity. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, but the chickens were part of a delivery going to this, settlement that you guys had both or had all heard of, not just both. And based on the radio chatter that you had heard, they were apparently relaying information to some some other party that you had heard of, the Red Circle, and they were apparently approaching in some kind of power armor. And our last session ended where you guys had finally dispersed with the assailants, and unfortunately the driver of the caravan was dead, but his gunner was still alive. And as you guys were kind of asking him what was going on, the local sentry, which was a set of power armor, kind of landed down and basically confronted you guys and was like, hey, what's going on? I've heard and monitored from a distance, and just want to let you know that now you're within the Red Circle territory. The image of that guy is still in the chat, I think, in gaming, if you guys have any questions on that. But it's a set of repurposed Samus armor, just so you have something to kind of visualize around.
Hell yeah. Samus, my main in Super Smash Brothers.
Samus Aran, yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome if it was that. Just turn a little ball and like roll it, attack people. Alrighty, so yeah, the
Zero Suit Samus.
Nah, you gotta go.
Oh no,
Samus.
this one isn't that sexy. Yep. All right, give me a second here. Let me get a drink of water. I'm just gonna go off camera for a second while I grab my water. Just a second.
Oh.
Our narrator's gone.
All right.
What happened, Nate?
That was mega fast.
Hydrate. It's right here. I just had to hydrate.
Okay.
All right, cool. So again, you guys are now confronted by this individual in power armor. His loudspeaker kind of clicks in, and it's like, hey, strangers, we want to thank you for your help in assisting our team here. We need to escort them back to the Citadel as soon as possible. They have vital cargo for us.
Yes, we did. We did do some heroic bullshit. I think thanks are in order.
We can make sure that you guys are. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I radio in anytime. Happy to help.
Yeah, I definitely didn't say that where they could
Nice.
hear me.
Say, remember,
okay.
we did you guys a solid. We saved your chickens. We're the heroes of the moment.
The guy in the power armor, you can even see inside the power armor, his head kind of cocks to the side quizzically, and he's like, "Well, we'll be able to help out as much as we can at the Citadel. We have a lot of travelers that come through the area, so there might be some trading or some opportunities for you guys to patch yourself up a little bit. But you'll definitely have thanks from us, from the Red Circle and the Citadel, and we'll do what we can to repay you in kind."
What is your name, sir?
I am called Renzo.
Renzo, do you guys have a splat ball league by any chance?
Again, he kind of like cocks his head a little bit. He's like, we have a ring in the Outer Bailey where we let locals, settle their differences, and occasionally, we have folks play different kinds of games. Usually it's football is what we play.
What? Okay, I'm new here. Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Now, what kind of
Not from
football
around
we
these parts. That's a
talking?
classic story. Oh man, the Lord's own football. He kind of looks at you and he's like, "Do we have a pigskin league right here? We play every Friday."
The foosball.
It's a pre-war sport, if I believe.
That's right. It is, but it's something that they picked up from a lot of the folks that run around. We get a lot of ex-coalition types that kind of run out onto the frontier, much as myself. And fortunately, in the coalition, it's still a big thing, so we kind of bring it with us.
I said, well, I do have some early 1980s pre-RIFTS Raiders footage. So is that the rules you're playing by? We guys hurt each other?
There's some hurting going on. There's no weapons, but usually the idea is to project a ball and or dog skull downward towards an opponent's goal via through the air or through the feet.
I go, how about this? And out of like my backpack, I pull like a heavy metal ball. Have you seen this?
That looks like a hand grenade. You can see he's kind of like slowly the muzzle is creeping its way up.
I go, no, it's splat ball, and I throw it into the ground as far as I can, so you see the ground go whoosh, crater.
He's like, "Good grief, man! Like that's something that only Borgs and juicers would be interested in around here."
I go, well, don't know about them.
There's a heavy ball.
Well, I mean, he's like, any Borgs that are around here are all put to domestic use, so we don't have a lot of combat mech that might be playing that. But you're more than welcome to ask somebody down at the trading post in the Outer Bailey.
Razor, you don't hit people with that ball, do you?
Only if they're consenting with their life.
Got it.
Consent to
Is there a
die.
waiver that you
So,
sign,
if
or
you've
what do you
got-
do?
if
Because
you've
that
got
looks like a
football, does that
cannonball.
mean-
Well,
does that mean you guys have pigs here?
from birth, you consent. You're raised to. Never mind. So where's this place?
Absolutely, yeah. Pigs, pig leather, everything. We try to do everything that we can still keep ourselves as self-sufficient as we can. A cart of laying hens right here is literally worth its weight in energy clips to us.
I do like value, and I like me some chicken.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll make sure to, like we said, we'll reward you guys as much as the Citadel is capable of, and then a lot of visitors outside that would be able to, kind of help us out.
Well, we did you guys a solid saving that chicken truck, so any help that you could provide us would be appreciated.
Sure. And he says, "I'll provide an escort, into the Citadel. Just follow me. What's the status of the vehicle?" And he kind of ask the driver, and the driver's still like distraught over his friend being dead, and
The
so he's
driver's
like,
dead, but the gunner is alive, and I believe he can
"The
drive
gunner
the
is
truck.
alive." Yeah. So he's like, still kind of distraught and just trying to like compose himself enough to operate the large ATV, but he's like still trying to steel his nerve and drive, and he's not really in a condition to be driving. He's just bummed that his homeboy's got roadkill laser through his brain and it's just a smoking
Wait,
hole in his head still.
Yeah, there's still a
I-
bunch
I-
of just gore in the front seat there.
Also,
Yeah.
Andy, Ryan's voice is coming through really loudly on your microphone.
Let me change the direction of it.
Yeah, I was like, I can just hear their conversation, and it's completely overlaid.
Is that better?
Yes, that is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much better.
Okay.
A good
Silence.
old Yeti with the multi-directional.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck?
Ooh,
Sorry, Alex, could you
you've
repeat
captured.
that description?
No problem at all. Okay, so let's rewind that back a little bit. All right, so fuck, where were we? I'm still pretty high.
Homeboy was like the driver was
Just-
just shell shocked. He's having a hard
Yeah.
time.
So the driver is shell shocked. He's got to drive this thing, another 70 miles in. But again, he's got his melted friend in the driver's seat, who he's kind of like shoved over to the side, rated as it is. So basically, he's dealing with a whore factor right now, just because again he's got melted homeboy.
Yeah, he
So
can
he's
just
bummed
smell
currently,
like cooked
and
brains.
his marbles. Yeah, his marbles aren't all the way there. So I don't know if one of you guys might be able to assist in that and operating the vehicle and kind of driving it in.
I was just gonna go up to him and say, "Hey, listen, friend. I know you just dealt with something very traumatic. That was probably a good friend of yours that you saw expire in front of your eyes. So if you're not quite capable of driving this vehicle, I could help out. If you want to man the guns, protect us."
All right, so he kind of nods, and again he's just weeping a little bit, and he's like, yeah, again he's just like lost for words, and he kind of like shuffles the body over, kind of like cradling it, kind of shuffles himself over, and makes room for you to get into the still warm and kind of smoldering driver's seat.
Well, my let's see, my driving is at a 70%. So let me roll that to see if I even like know what I'm looking at. Is that cool?
Oh yeah, you're being an Atlantean. You've seen ground conveyance before. It's very quaint that this one's using wheels and not like anti-grav technology. So you have the general gist of it.
65.
All right, so yeah, you're able to fire the thing up, and you drive the thing at a modest 55 miles an hour over this what is beginning to appear before you as sort of a rough, beaten down trail. It's not really a paved road at all. It's just through years of wheeled and power armor traffic over it, and the occasional blowdown by power armor. There's sort of a clearing through the ubiquitous kind of knee high prairie grass that you guys are all around, including the giant fire that's still kind of smoldering behind you guys. So you're able to get that up to about 50-ish, 60 miles an hour and still maintain control of the vehicle. Everyone else who has their own conveyance, if you want to give me a piloting or operations check to kind of keep up with them. And then the glitter boy, you can do the same, but you basically have to kind of run to keep up with them. So at a certain
Okay.
point, you physically would fatigue, and you would need to kind of stop and be like, "Hey, I need to catch my breath to like run
Okay.
with you guys again."
Okay,
Okay,
I got a 14.
I'll do that. Do I need to roll anything for
Cool.
that?
Yeah. Roll a percentile, 100-sided dice, and you want to roll low.
Okay, 1 second.
Ooh, woo.
Ooh,
Oh,
that doesn't look good. That's an 89.
That's rough.
Alrighty. So, you're just having a hard time kind of keeping up with these guys. The road is still, uneven, and you can't really like turn your ankle in a glitter boy armor, but you're kind of misstepping every once in a while. So you sort of lag behind everyone, and it's kind of slowing the posse
I stop
down.
the
But
tr-
basically, it takes you.
I stop the truck and I say, "Hey, Sparkle Boy, if you want to hop on top and just ride with us, you can."
Won't that crush the chickens?
They're
The chicken coop would probably not be able to withstand the full weight of your glitter boy armor jamming on it. They're in kind of like a salvaged set of materials on like a six-wheeled bed. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of trundling on behind this ATV.
Can he sit on? Oh, so he can't sit on the back of the bed, like with his
It
feet.
doesn't have a bed. you could kind of hang on the back of the ATV in between the coupe and the towing vehicle. But again, your weight would be pretty significant. You kind of slow down the vehicle a little bit, make it driving it a little bit harder. Just
So we're going at
something for
35.
the driver to think about. Probably closer to that, yeah. Really digging those rear wheels in.
And I rolled a 33 for my hover cycle.
You're just cruising right along. You're cruising right along, and again, you're on a hover cycle, so this terrain is nothing to you. You could punch it and kind of zoom past everyone, but you're just coasting right along, making sure that flanking along everyone, making sure that everyone is okay. And then
One.
How
Mr.
dense is
Toombs,
the
what about
terrain?
yourself? Oh, so you are on what is essentially the clearing. It is lower. If there is any grass, it's just a few inches tall. Most of it is like exposed kind of dirt, and then along the sides is the overgrown kind of plains grass.
So what I'll do is because I have a little extra speed on them, just to be cautious, I'm gonna kind of rove out off the path. Probably like maybe a half a mile in either direction, gain a little height, go down, gain a little height, go down, and then kind of swerve
Nice.
back to
Okay.
where they are.
Okay.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
just gonna
refill my
be
drink.
gonna
I'll be
go
right
on.
back.
yeah, I'm just gonna be keeping
Sure.
abreast of the main truck and keeping my eye out for anything that might be of interest or value.
Okay. So as you guys, kind of move to your different positions, um, you notice first with keys as you're kind of going look around, you get more of a bird's eye view of the area, and you can actually see that there are certain patches that are cultivated. It's not just all tall grass. You can see, what seems to be, small fenced-in area with some kind of livestock, and a large figure that seems to be either tending or moving them. On another field, you can see what seems to be, kind of large grain or something like that, wheat. And again, another kind of rather large figure that's, either tending it or pulling a large harvesting equipment through it. And every once in a while, you'll see kind of an overseer, like on a horse with, large brim hat and like a rifle, posted on their hip. And they, are kind of watching you post up and then go back down. And they definitely have eyes on you. But so far, no one has like reacted negatively to your presence, as it seems
Okay.
like the Samus armor that is escorting you guys has got everyone acting pretty chill at your presence.
Okay, cool. So I'll kind of rejoin the convoy. Um, the only thing I'll do is I'm keeping an eye out for if anything looks like more raiders are trying to attack any of those facilities.
Is my guy ultimately
Sure.
able to, follow the party even if he's lagging behind?
You can. You would just basically kind of lag behind a little bit. Renzo, kind of notices that you're struggling, and so he kind of loops away from the front to kind of sloop back behind you, and he gets out on his, his loudspeaker. Is everything good back there?
Yeah, everything's all right. Just having some difficulties keeping up.
He's like, well, once we get about a mile out of the citadel, you'll be under coverage of our artillery. But until then, you got to keep up because something could pop up out of this tall grass at any time.
All right, I'll try my best to keep up.
Right? And so he continues to kind of do kind of an oval loop around you guys while you're continuing on at a speed more closer now to 40 miles an hour. And so you're getting kind of the slow tour of this area. And as you're getting closer to the citadel, you can actually see in the distance kind of a small, rounded mound looking shape. You can see small trails of smoke or steam or something coming out from what could be smokestacks. You also can see that there are more and more of these agricultural patches as you're coming in. You can see that they're definitely like separated out. Some of them are doing livestock, some of them are doing produce. Some of the animals, are unlike anything you've seen. They seem to be like large featherless birds. Some of them seem to be almost like dinosaurs that are tiny, spangless raptors. Some of them are, traditional, just pigs and cattle, and the traditional kind of farm animals you would see in North America. It's sort of a wild collection. You also notice that a lot of the beings doing the work have like very crude looking metallic limbs, metallic legs, metallic arms, sometimes both. And you can see that they seem to be the ones doing all of like the heavy labor. And you also notice that a lot of them have kind of a white X either painted on the chest or the back or both, or they're marked with different X's on their person.
Do any of us know what that means?
Anyone got a Streetwise or anything like that? Local lore?
I think so.
I do not.
I got Streetwise.
Yeah, you're Streetwise. You're from one of the local areas too, right? Aren't you from one of the local settlements to the east? You're the
Yeah,
Ohio
over in
area?
Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Round on the inside, in the middle.
However, I rolled an 83.
Damn. You know, these cats out here to the east are weird. You know that maybe it might be something that they picked up from the folks out in the Cheyenne territory or the Cherokee areas, or you know, maybe it's something that the natives are doing, or maybe it's something left over from the coalition. I don't know. It definitely looks like that everyone who has a mark on them, one of those marks on them is up shit creek.
I'll kind of message in the radio to Toombs and the Glitter Boy, and I'll say, looks like maybe they're marked X for maybe they're slaves of some kind.
Mm.
Maybe
Laborers.
prisoners.
They're in the chain
I hope so.
gang.
And so after, yep, absolutely. Yeah, Toombs, you kind of get a vibe of definitely some kind of chain gang style activity, just the way they're laid out in rows and the kind of work they're doing, their pace they're working at. You definitely get that kind of vibe from them.
She did. Sorry. Whew. My bearded dragon took a shit, and it is stinking up the room.
Oh.
That's
So speaking of which, as you're getting closer, you start getting overwhelmed with the smells of civilization. There's definitely, you know, a lot more livestock and then like the manure and stuff that goes with them. And you begin to notice as you're on this path, it's a little bit more matted down, a little bit more compacted ground, like there's much heavier traffic. And you start seeing, you know, kind of signposts. Some of them are written in North American, you know, some of them are written, you know, with North American and Spanish, and some of them are in kind of the colloquial hieroglyphs for the people who can't read. But it's basically, you know, a citadel, you know, 50 miles this direction, and then you can also see kind of, you know, the local hieroglyph that is, you know, the symbol for clean water, and then 50 and a direction, you know, basically continuing on this path. And then you also notice like the denuded torso of one of those Simvin raiders with, you know, a few dozen like flechettes and arrows and blast marks on its body still, kind of, you know, gently swinging in the breeze with a giant white X also painted on it.
Love to see it.
They look after their own here.
Very serious. They take that white X very serious. So as you get closer, you see that there's actually now traffic on the road. There seems to be kind of a giant queue of people. And as you're getting closer to the Citadel, you can actually now see that it's a walled city. It has a very significant walls that are about 20 feet tall. And behind that, you can see kind of, you know, gently, you know, arched roofs and things like that. I can drop something in the chat. Uh-oh, did we just lose somebody?
Oh, Andy keeps dropping out. His Discord is just constant difficulty with Discord
Very
for
discordant.
Andy.
Yeah, once my family got home, like they started using the Wi-Fi, and it's just sort of like making things spotty. I'm trying to switch to my phone, so give me one moment.
All right.
Sure. And then I'm
Good
gonna
man.
drop this in. I
I'm
hope this
playing a
comes through
burster,
in
but
the
Andy's
chat.
playing a boomer.
Well, he's a juicer, so I mean, you know, technologically,
Look, man,
he's about
I'm vintage
brawn.
78 as well, man. I remember when computers were as big as a room and everything was green and black and all that good stuff. Everything looked like fucking Tron.
Hell yeah.
It was super future. But as something to kind of visualize as you're approaching, it is, you know, basically like a walled medieval city. It has, you know, kind of the sloped roofs. You can see, you know, a couple smokestacks from what could be fireplaces or industrial sources. It's still too far away for you to tell. And it has, you know, large kind of, you know, round turret towers. And on some of them, from your distance, you can make out, you know, what could be in the battlements, a large cannon or a laser weapon. You're not entirely sure, but you also notice on the outside a large fence, kind of perimeter fence that is sort of outside of the main entrance that the road is heading towards. So it's almost pear-shaped. And this outer fence is all made out of scavenged materials. It's scrap. Some of it is, framework from, large robots. Some of it is, building material. Some of it is several vehicles just kind of that were flattened by something huge and they've been turned on their side and joined together. So it's this hodgepodge of, rough material that's about, 10 feet tall. And as you're approaching it, you can see that this queue of beings is all lined up trying to get entrance into this citadel.
Right
Okay.
on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can hear you.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good.
Can
No,
hear
you're
that.
good.
All right, so let's see if this works for a visual. Not an artist, so I apologize if it looks a little funky,
I
but I
like
just
it.
wanted to give you the general idea of what this thing is going on here. Right? So as you approach it, you can see this, this hodgepodge fence, and then it has kind of a choke point that has a hardened tower. You can see that there are several guards up there. They have very large weapons, and there's several other towers at each of kind of the junction points on the fence there.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So you guys approach, and Renzo, basically descends and lands. And as he does, everyone kind of scatters out of the way. He gives the high sign, and the guards at the towers immediately lower their weapons. They kind of give like a arm salute, and Renzo returns it. And he walks up to the gate. The people are all, a variety of every sort of being. There's humans, there's, DBs, there's folks that seem to be injured, there's folks that seem to be bounty hunters bringing in someone for, a reward or who knows what. It's just a whole, sea of individuals and variety of folks. And everyone is like teaming to try to get in. And holding them back is this heavily armed individual. It's only about 4 or so feet tall. That is seems to be a sentient dog man, and he's just literally barking at them, get back, people, get back. And he's got like a heavy weapon holding across his chest there, and he's as he's pushing back, he like kind of lets a round go up, boom, and it disperses in the air, a giant burst of plasma energy, and everyone steps out of the way, and there's kind of a giant cordon now for you guys to walk up to the front gate.
So I'm sorry, we're not inside yet. I missed a little bit.
No, you're not inside yet. You're coming up on the outer bailey to the citadel, which is this wall, this fenced-off area made of scrap fence, and the gate to it is this, heavily fortified and guarded post where there's this sea of, I don't want to say humanity,
right
but humanity trying to get in there. No, that is the
Right
gate
here?
to the main building. Yeah, down at the bottom there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the immigration point at Moss Eisley.
That?
Very much so.
That's how
Yes,
I'm
down at the
picturing
bottom.
it.
On mine. Yeah, and it's so there's just every language, every smell, everything, and among them are folks who have goods they're trying to trade, repairs they're trying to get, issues they're trying to have solved, all at the services that are inside of what they refer to as the outer bailey here.
Okay.
All right. As you get close enough, you can also see that there's a large mech kind of walking around there, like literally patrolling inside. It's probably 12 or so feet tall. And again, it's just bristling with weapons. It's a very large structure, and the gate to the city, to the citadel itself, um, the main gate is actually composed of a large mech that seems to have been damaged or some way salvaged itself. So the shoulder cannon and kind of the upper body are all essentially one side of the gate, and then the cannon is able to kind of move around and support or take out anybody that's coming its direction. Let me see if I can drop this image here in the chat. Again, I'm not an artist, but I just want to give you an idea of what sort of
idea.
it looks like.
Let's see.
I dig it. I
Can't
dig
see
it.
it.
The mech is part of the wall.
Oh, I'm trying.
That's a good setup.
So all of that stuff there that is basically blacked out is not going to exist, but the rest of this mech is sort of like concreted into the wall, and then the wall for the Citadel is around this whole thing. So his upper body and that leg are like all that is kind of sticking out, and everything else is encased in this ultra thick, meta terms MDC armor wall that is all the way around the Citadel there.
Okay.
You gotta
So
keep
about
So
how
you roll
many
up on the
people?
gate.
How tall is this gate or the wall?
The giant MDC wall is about 20 feet tall, and the fence that you guys are walking up on is about 10 feet tall. Again, it's made out of refuse and scavenged stuff from the wastelands.
So we can't really see through it.
You can't see over the large wall, but you can see through the fence scavenging wall. It's basically like chain link fence, but just made of hodgepodges of different shit.
So we're at the front now.
Yes. So there is this dog person who has a plasma ejector, who's sort of the doorman. Gives the high sign to Renzo, and Renzo says everyone has to pass through security.
So I guess I pull the truck up to the dog man.
Yep. Yep. So the dog man, is immediately kind of sniffing around. He takes a look and he's like, "Oh, we've got wounded." The door, cracks a little bit, and he's like, "You driver, I don't know you. Step out."
I comply.
All right. So you hop on down. He kind of moves you to the side. He's not being a dick about it, but he's definitely paranoid about you. And he kind of motions his hand forward, and two other lightly armored guys come out from inside of the gate, jump inside, and basically take the injured party out. And the gunner kind of follows them, and they trundle inside of the Bailey. And then
They
another
separate
guard,
us?
or basically
Oh,
at this point a
great.
technician. Yeah, they separate them from you. And then a technician, an unarmored person, comes out of the door, hops into the vehicle, and starts driving it towards the gate. The gate opens for him, and he's able to drive the truck and the chickens inside. As he does, the gate, kind of slides closed behind him, and the dog man, kind of assumes, more of a calm posture, and he's like, sniffing you up and down, Razor 12. And he's like,
My arms out
"Where
like
are you
this. and
from?" Kind of sniffing your feet. Yeah, he's like, "Where are you from? You don't smell like around here at all."
I go, oh, it's a long story, but I was kicked through a portal. I didn't have a choice to come here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I smell weird. I
He
probably
looks up at
smell like
Renzo. He's like, "Is he a DB or what's
seafood.
up?" Renzo's like, "He kind of helped out with the chicken run here, so he seems to be okay." He kind of squints a little bit, and he's like, "All right, well, any heavy duty weapons you need to check with the guys inside of the gate, and you can go inside. No trouble, all right."
I want no trouble.
Yeah, we've had enough trouble
All right.
for the day
And
now.
he allows you to head up to the gate, and as you do, you see another kind of technician fella just wearing sort of gray canvas, sort of very simple clothing, and he takes a look at your assortment of weapons and arms and stuff, and basically holds out like a burlap sack, and is just like, "Put your stuff in here."
Will you give it back?
Absolutely, and he gives you a card with some numbers and letters on it. Are you literate?
Yeah. I am.
So you recognize it as it just is like a series of numbers, like a waiting tag. It's like B175, like you're at the DMV.
Well, I'm 40% literate.
You recognize a couple of the characters, but you get the idea that it's a series of numbers and letters.
I don't recognize it's a series of numbers and letters.
Oh dear, it's just a bunch of squiggles and runes. It's just moon runes to you. You have no idea what any of that crap is at
It's
all.
all Greek to me.
That's absolutely, it's just Chinese algebra now. So anyway, he gives you this card with a bunch of scribbles, And he says, when your business is done here at the Bailey, then bring this back to us, and myself or one of the others will retrieve your goods.
I appreciate your guys' hospitality.
Are you giving him all of your weapons, or are you trying to secret any weapons on your person?
No, I give them all.
All right. And so as you walk in, you see there's one figure who hasn't moved so far. Seems to be kind of an old, hunched over woman with a giant kind of sombrero almost. And she just pays no mind to you as you walk in. And you see everyone else kind of glances over at her, and she doesn't move. They don't seem to take any more notice of you, and you're able to walk inside of the Bailey.
Okay.
Who's next? All right. Sounds like Keys is up. So Keys walks up. The dog man's like, "Oh, nice ride, man." He kind of looks around. He's like, "So, yeah, it looks like you were able to get away from those raiders with all your stuff in one piece here."
Yes, sir.
And he
Happy
kind of
to
sniffs around.
help.
He's sniffing around again. He's like, "Something about you, though, stranger. What, where are you from? What's your deal?"
Oh, I'm out from Ohio. But I've been wandering around these areas for quite a while. Just to tell you the truth, those bastards. You know who I'm talking about.
Hmm. Yeah, he kind of raises the eyebrow, and as he does, you can see he's got like markings on his neck, that say property of CS1175. He's got like tattoos on him from the pack that he was a part of when he too was a member of the coalition.
Sorry what they did to you.
He's like, "No, don't worry about it. We once we figure out what side we're playing on, it's not too hard to get away from those clowns."
They killed some of my friends.
He's like, "You have my deep sympathies. They would train us to do exactly that, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's somehow I'm some way responsible for that. So my apologies, sincerely."
Well, out here, I don't think we have to worry about them as much.
He's like, "We don't." He's kind of sniffing around. He's like, "But you got to understand, there's a lot of people out here who are still scared." And he kind of sniffs some more. And he's like, "Say, got a lot of psychic energy kind of radiating off of you, friend. Is there anything you want to let us know?"
Well, I'll let them know. What's that called again? Not the coalition. What's the
Federation of Magic?
Look, I was born in the Federation.
All right.
I use
See how he feels about that. I want to see how he feels about the Federation. I'm gonna give you a percentage roller because they are also generally bummers as well. That's where all your heavy duty cultists and all that stuff are. Um, he's like, "So are you affiliated with the Federation still?"
Well, if I was, I wouldn't be here.
He's like, "Good man.
Look,
You look
I
like just the
ran.
kind of guy they'd throw to one of their unspeakable ancient evils that they're trying to pull into this world."
Yeah. I don't. I've seen enough unspeakable shit out here in the wasteland. I don't. Look, I ran from that shit, and I thought maybe the coalition would help, and they hated me and my friends just as much as people back home. And it looks like I thought maybe this town might be a place where as accept weirdos and miscreants.
He kind of chuckles a little bit. He's like, "Definitely the weirdos." He's like, "But none on the miscreants." I tell you what, though, man. As the old poet once said, "Don't start nothing, won't be nothing." So he kind of takes another deep sniff, and he's like, "I'm not picking up, anything that's making my hackles turn red." And Renzo vouches for you. Hang on,
Thank you.
my dryer's about to.
And I'll start handing him my
Oh,
weapons.
is he out? What happened?
You said
Looks like
I'm not sure.
ooh, spooky.
I don't know if it's,
Dog
I don't know if
boy.
it's just on my end, but I can't see Andrew. Can you guys see Andrew?
I can see him.
Andrew, but
Sorry
he's not-
about that. My wonderfully American-made dryer was about to turn into a fission fusion device, so I had to turn that thing off there real quick before I was in the last reel of Oppenheimer in my house.
Yeah,
So-
I heard you say my
Whirlpool fiction.
dryer's about to turn red, and I was like, what? That doesn't
Dude,
sound
yeah,
good.
I fixed this thing like the NASCAR now. I have to open it up and take out this fuse, this thermal fuse thing. It's just a pain in the ass, dude. Anyway, so I heard it buzzing back there. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I want to finish my game. God damn it! So I had to get that done. Sorry about that. So the dog boy kind of gives you a sniff. Basically says, look, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. So your vehicle, you can park that. There's a vehicle kind of motor pool on the outside of the fence there. The guard tower will watch it, so there won't be any extra eyes on it. And if you need anything for it, you can ask the boys inside, and if someone is willing or able, they'll come out and come work on it for you if you need something. Otherwise, we've got fuel and we've got stuff like that for barter inside.
Great, thank you so much.
Right on.
All right. And he basically lets you in. As he does, you can hear a bunch of people in the line go, hey, what the fuck? They're letting this guy in. Ah, grumble, grumble, grumble. And you can, see Renzo's like, hey, step back. Savages, step back. So who is next up?
I think it's me.
I'll go next.
Oh, okay. You can go.
All right. All right. So Travis, you walk up to the gate, and immediately the dog boy is like, hey, man, that's awesome, but that's a little bit too much for us to let inside. So I could give you the option. You can park that again in the vehicle bivouac outside, or you can wait out here. But I can't let that thing inside of here without everybody having a panic attack.
That's completely understandable. I will park this in the vehicle bay. As for my weaponry, and I hold up the gun, do you have something, this will fit in that I can check this with as well?
That thing is like attached to you, so you can basically just command it to go up into like a rest position, and then you can just walk
Okay.
your armor over to the vehicle bay and basically disembark from your armor there.
All right, I'll do that then.
I imagine you also have like a key fob. You pop out, and you can be like boop boop. You can kind of remotely lock down your glitter boy.
Yep, I'll do that.
All right.
So you're just in
So
long
two-
john thermal underwear, and that's it.
No, outside of it, I'll describe my character in a moment. Once I'm out of the armor and I'm back with the party.
I was gonna
Sure,
say, Travis, when Komodo, I'm like parking my hover bike, you're parking that. And when I see your key fob, I'm like, I like those keys.
Of course, keys likes keys.
Yes,
And I've got
they're
my
they're
fucking
awesome.
like 80 keys like jingling.
A glitter boy key fob, that's got to be like some of the coolest tech that you've seen in some time. This thing's gonna have all the doodads and doohickeys and spindly points. Yeah, just a fucking Chuck Avery or a Tex Avery take. You know what I mean? Fucking eyes bulge out of your head. Fucking awesome, man. Yeah. All right. So that could be a point of interest for the team. Toombs, as you come up, the dog boy is already kind of regarding you, a little bit different than the others. He takes a deep sniff and he's like, "All right, what's your deal here, man?"
I'm just a kindly explorer.
It's like explorer. He takes another deep sniff. He's like, "You've been around some foul individuals, man. You got a smell on you."
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
well, who of us has not in this world?
I don't know, man. Hang on a second. And then he's like, "Abuelita," and he kind of turns around. You see the old hunched over figure kind of come up, and you see her sombrero tip up. You see a pale, gaunt, kind of white face. Her eyes are absolutely sunken black. The eyeballs themselves are like stark white.
Oh boy.
She walks forward, and you, as a psychic, you kind of recognize what she is. She's a psi stalker. She like feeds off of the energies of psychics and magic users and stuff like that. So she kind of walks up, she tips her hat back. She walks up and she kind of licks her teeth a little bit. You can see they're all filed down to point ends,
Oh, lovely.
and she is kind of taking a long, hard look at Toombs, and she whispers over into the dog boy's head. You hear something in Spanish. Any of y'all speak Spanish?
I do.
Um,
I'm in.
you're
But I'm in
inside
the
the
walls.
Bailey. Yeah. You don't have super hearing. I don't think you would hear it. Toombs, do you speak Spanish?
I do not.
All
I
right.
speak like
So you
demon
hear.
and English.
Oh man, so you speak French and English? Okay.
No,
So so you're not sure what she says, but the dog boy kind of like nods and he's like, look, I already told your friend that we don't want any nefarious activity here. He's like, but in particular, we're going to be watching you. We don't want you communing or drawing any kind of attention to this place. We got good people here. Understand?
oh, I have no intention of causing any trouble now.
All right. All right. And he kind of, nods several times. He's like, check in whatever weaponry and or voodoo that you might have with our men inside, okay?
All right, and I flash him a very weird smile.
All right. As you do, you see the fucking Stalker grandma kind of does the Iceman teeth bite at you.
Yeah.
All right. You walk up to the tech. He kind of holds his bag up and he's a little bit wary. He's like, what do you got to declare here, man?
Is that to me?
Yeah. Like what stuff do you need to check in?
Well, I got my gun. I got like my SMG. I think that's it, right?
Okay. Yeah, so as long as it's, like a visible weapon or something that they can see on you, he's going to want you to put it in the bag.
Okay. Yeah. So I give
What
him
are you
my
wearing?
SMG. What?
What are you wearing?
I've got like a cloak on over like some light MDC armor.
Okay. Okay. Is it like a robe? Or, almost?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So as you guys enter the Bailey now, you can see that there are apologies for the sparse info here. I'm going to ship to another slide in just a second, but there's like a central guard tower, and you can see the guard there. Holds his hand up to his headset that he's wearing, like he's getting some kind of communication, and his eyes and more importantly his rifle kind of immediately start tracing Toombs' path through the area as he's walking around. And Toombs notices that a lot of the guards are all kind of like noticing your location as you're exploring through the area. Inside of the Bailey, it's a collection of like caravans and RVs, scavenger vehicles.
That's cool.
Some of them are like moving traders on wheels. Some of them are like semi-permanent situations. So they have a lot of different folks that are all in this Bailey. And what's happening is basically people are coming from all over the wastes or wherever they can. They conduct their business here, and then they get the fuck out. And as they leave, people from that giant queue come in to conduct their business. So it's kind of like constantly teaming with folks moving around to all the different stalls and vehicles and stuff like that. And then through that, you can see that large, mecha armor kind of walking around, patrolling everywhere. And then Renzo, after you guys all check in, he kind of power jumps and he goes back on his flight path to go patrol the outer areas. Let me pull your characters over from the other page, and then we'll move around.
Say bye to us?
Stuff here. Oh no, Renzo doesn't say shit to you guys. He dips out.
Oh.
And what does
then,
Komodo look like?
Yeah, I was
So-
gonna say we don't have a thing for Komodo, but yeah, give us an explanation, brother.
Yeah, so my guy would be he'd have long blonde hair, maybe a little bit like a mullet. He'd have one eye. He has a eye patch on, silver tooth, and the front of his mouth, kind of a not like a beard, but a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going on.
Yeah.
He'd be wearing like kind of like leather, like a leather vest, no shirt, leather pants and maybe some like knees and like elbow pads and like that kind of shit on him, and not like a
Damn
big
hockey team
satchel,
of
but like a
Czechoslovakia.
little bit of a small satchel on his side.
Loving it. And then the light MDC armor is not environmental, correct? It's just to kind of give you some protection against, swords and blast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We got to find someone. I mean, we could just use your boy figure and shrink down, or try to find another token and drop it on here if that's cool. What
Okay.
do you prefer?
Probably another token
No,
until
which-
I'm back in the armor.
Another token? Okay. Yeah. Let me find somebody here real quick in the
All right.
in the art.
Find like a Fabio-looking guy with blonde hair.
I'm picturing like Squizgar Squig Elf.
And that's all. I'm trying to find someone who would have that kind of drip, man. It's gonna be hard. See, like the generic they have are not swagged out.
Wizdar?
Squizgar is a
He's from,
character from Metalocalypse.
Clock.
Yeah,
Yeah. The blonde shredder.
Yes. This is Grandpa's guitars. What is this? Shit. Okay, I'm just gonna find something, man, and we're gonna use the power of imagination.
All right,
yeah.
that's
Alright.
fine.
Cool and good. So I found this, but like I said, unfortunately, he's male pattern baldness, but he is at least blonde. So we'll
There
go
you
with
go.
blonde for now.
Perfect.
I can deal with that.
Okay, cool. All right, and then let me drop the controlled by here.
Your mullet is that your guy has just no front hair.
Yeah.
Business up front, party in the back.
Oh, and then which
Uh-huh.
controller? I'm sorry, which one is this one going to be? This is Doom
Travis F is me.
Oh, Travis F. Here it is. Yes, got it. Okay, you should be able to move yourself around.
All right, sweet.
All right. Yeah, milling around. You notice that there's different stalls. There are folks that are kind of getting like literally psychically healed. There are a couple folks that are bartering and trading goods. One gentleman has a what seems to be a kind of a portable generator where he's charging Eclipse, so he's recharging any energy clips. You can see another guy is walking around. He's got a whole set of tools on him, and he's basically like working on a small portable engine for someone. There's a whole kind of plethora of artisans that are out like plying their trades, and then among that you also see there's kind of a pile of boxes, and there's a group of the armored fellows with the red circle kind of standing around, and they have at their feet a kind of beaten looking pulp of a being with a white X basically painted on him, and you see they have him before what seems to be a large humanoid alligator type hybrid, this kind of large snapping maw, and they're wearing large flowing robes, black robes, and they basically are kind of like moving very solemnly over this person, and then as they do, another individual walks up kind of wearing the tech stuff where it's just very light and provides this being with what looks to be a
Where?
sawed-off shotgun.
Oh, okay. Have fun.
So it kind of gets quiet, and you can hear the shotgun being loaded, and the alligator being says, "Do you have any final words?" And the person with the X on their back kind of like snarls and says something which you don't fully understand. And
Are
then
people
the,
watching this
gator
other
being
than
just-
us?
People are all circled around watching it. Yeah,
Oh.
people are just all circled around watching it. The dudes in the red circle are standing there, kind of a few feet back, while this gator person kind of lowers the double barrel shotgun and lets both barrels go and just splatters this being's head all over the floor. And as they do, the kind of red circle guys all kind of cheer in unison. "Urgh." And then a couple of techs kind of motion, and you see a kind of misshapen cyborg body with two shitty looking bionic arms and two bionic legs that are different sizes, kind of like schlep up to the remains and kind of drag it away, taking it towards the outside.
Okay, I
is
want to. So I want to go up to like somebody who, like a local, and I just want to ask, what horrible transgressions did he commit?
Yeah, what did that man
He
do?
was trying. That ain't no
Indeed.
man. That's a goddamn DB raider, man. That's a marrow eater.
Ooh,
Mm.
off
So
with his head.
they had it coming.
Sounds like that would have been
Yeah,
the
they
fate of any of those
he's like,
raiders
didn't
if
you boys just
any
come
had
in with the chicken
survived.
run right now?
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah,
We
that's
did.
us.
We
Yep.
did indeed.
Then you must have seen some of them out there. That's all they do is they just patrol around. If they can't find or take out somebody to physically eat, they just attack our crops. They attack our food. They attack our food supply. So any chance we get, gotta teach these fucks a lesson. And the only lesson they learn is getting their brains blown clean out.
Say no
Makes sense
more
to
than an
me.
hour ago, I took out 3 of them, and I may have taken out their leader.
And the who are you talking to? You're talking to one of the folks in the stall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, well, you got to bring that up to the Red Circle, man. They might be really interested in anyone who's trying to take out these raiders. They showed us ago, and they're making is already an impossible existence truly hell on earth.
Yeah, that's no
Well, if
good.
there's more of those, raiders out there, I'm always looking for a fight.
There could be, I wouldn't mess with them. Gator Ginsburg is kind of a busy person, and she's essentially the lawgiver in these parts. What's so funny there, stranger?
I love
call her
the
the
name. It's
Ruth,
great. It's
the
fantastic. What a good
Ruth, the
name.
Justice, and the
Yes.
American
So the
Way.
magistrate for the area is named Gator Ginsburg, and you find out that essentially she's seen as like a fair and just solver of issues, from basically executing these roving gangers to if there's disputes between different traders or locals, she helps squash that as well.
Say,
Anyone
just out
notice
of
that she is an
curiosity,
alligator?
Hold on a second, we got two going on at one time. Was that Keys that was asking?
They're saying, does anyone know she's an alligator?
A gator human hybrid. She has two arms, 2 legs, stands bipedal, but she has the jaw, maw, and upper head of a alligator.
I'm just kind of curious. What's her stance on female DB's rights?
It's their body, their choice. Their being, their choice. That's right.
I do
No
agree.
preferential treatments based on the genetic lotteries that are played by individuals in this world. We're all guaranteed a right to have double barrel shotgun the back of our head if we fuck with the Citadel.
I like her.
So as
Very
they pull away the kind of scooped dead body, they kind of kick some dust and sand over the brains and kind of stamp them into the ground. And then next you see two guys come up and they're basically haranguing each other over the quality of a load of turnips. And so she kind of like sits down very bored and begins listening to both sides as they're presenting their case.
Does she have a spot where she does her mayoring from? Like, is there or is she just going stall to
Podium.
stall?
This podium of boxes right here.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, and that's the gator.
Yeah, that'll be Gator. Yeah, until I find a better token. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, okay. So, I'll turn to you guys. So, what do you guys make of that? Walk away from the stall so we're not just like being overheard.
I mean, I would have done the same thing. Sounds pretty fair.
I don't know
Yeah,
how I
I
feel
mean-
about the gator, but street justice is always good justice to me.
I've never encountered a raider in the wasteland who is ever reasonable. Every raider that I've met out there is a complete psychopath. Sounds like he got what he deserved to me.
To me, sounds like maybe an opportunity.
What do you
They
mean?
got more of these raiders out there. If that was granted, if we killed their leader, that's the only one, then great. But it sounds like an opportunity, maybe if they're getting plagued by these guys. Look at this place; they've done pretty well for themselves. I would kind of hate for this place to get torn down by raiders.
Yeah, not
If
to
we
mention this seems like a
really,
pretty good place to stop for supplies when we're out there scavenging or doing whatever it is that we do.
I
Well,
go,
that's
they
kind of
look.
Again, you guys have noticed that
what do you
they're
guys do?
charging energy clips there. You guys have noticed that they're charging energy clips there. They have what seems to be ammunition for various types of weapons. They also have food. They have, pork. They have what they're claiming is clean water. They seem to also have, others that are trading, goods and services, doing, straight up bartering for items, which might be an opportunity to, maybe find value of, or what you can use, some of your black market items, your pre-rift stuff that you might have scavenged, things like
Oh,
that.
I want to go to a booth where they may have some sort of knives, or what may be
Sure,
like
sure.
with little buttons on them, and like have battery packs on them.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is kind of a large, wheeled vehicle that's, set up back here, and you can read, right? But there's also the hieroglyphs where you can see literally stencils of, not on kind of a balled up fist, what looks to be kind of a spiked ball and flail, and then again an arrow pointing down. Get it here.
I look for a repair station, like someone who might be able to like repair my gun and my armor.
Mm.
This kind of tent area here, you find folks that seem to be lined up to talk to the local fella who's an operator named Meltrin.
Meltrin. I like the name.
and I'm looking for ammo.
Ammo. Same deal. The RV looking thing is going to have your ammo.
Where I'm at, right here.
Yes, over here.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, there. Okay, cool. I'll walk over by you. Yeah, I'm looking for some ammo.
Okay.
And I'll say to Razor 12, where are you from exactly?
Um. Well, have you heard of Atlantis? It's kind of far from here.
Yeah, I've heard of like myths about Atlantis, like
Well,
continent sunk to
those
the bottom of the ocean.
those myths were dispelled many years ago. Probably at least 200 years ago. It exists now. It's real. I lived there. I was born and raised there. In fact, I was enslaved there.
Does he look
And
any different than a regular person?
No, he is a human who has been captured and then juicified by the Splugorth for their sick entertainment. So he is just a regular Joe who they got, who now they've used augmentation technology on to have him play this murderous game.
So why do you just look like a guy?
well, I am a guy, but I'm modified, and I like lift up my sleeves and I pull my shirt out, and you can see like all the different wires that are connected, and my little tank back here in the back that's like a pack that has like all my drugs that are in there. And
Please give me
What?
a streetwise check once he shows you the rig.
Nope.
Alrighty, you're like, looks like a fucking junkie to me, man. I don't know. Seek help, brother. Fuck, what is this shit? Have some
What they
tea.
do to
Fuck.
you?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I go, well, what did they do to
You
me?
need
Well,
Jesus.
I was forced into combat. And then I look around, and then I pull aside my mask and I let them see like my face. I have no eyelids at all over here. just a big eyeball that's moving around. No, the side of my face is completely gone, and my mask matches this side of the face, but it's obviously a facade. It's like made out of metal, painted with like a generic flesh tone, and the rest of my face is just covered in scars.
What?
I was born into
Hey,
combat.
buddy. Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to show that to
Fell
me.
out
You
of the
know.
ugly tree and hit every motherfucking stick on the way down.
I say, but I'm free now, and I like start coughing blood.
What the?
Blood
Are you
just
okay? What the fuck?
listen.
Do you
I
need
left
a?
my med kit in the fucking hover cycle.
Oh.
Listen, our kind, we have a short lifespan. Maybe 5 to 7 years, if we're 7 years if we're lucky. I've already
How old are you?
been. Well, I'm 23, but I've had these modifications on me for 4.5 years. They take a toll on your body. Your bones go brittle. Your organs start to fail. At some point, either I get this removed out of me, or I perish.
Do you want
Get
us
in
to
the
help
wash
you
and
with
see if
that?
it's dry and put it on my bed if it is. And then move the stuff
I don't
from the
know.
wash to the jar. What are
You know, my life.
freezing?
I feel like I should go out in a blaze of glory.
Shit,
That's how
man,
I
if
want to
you're
go
only
out.
gonna be here for a short time. It's better be a good time.
Because I don't know if I might be able to stop the process, but I don't know if I can recover from the damage done. I don't want to live like this.
Fucking
Live
hell.
fast, die hard.
Agreed.
Oh, I look over at him because I didn't know that I had an audience other than
Emotional moments from Razor 12. What's behind the Razor? What's behind the 12?
So you're Razor 12. That's your name.
that's my name.
And
Listen,
what about the rest of you? I don't think we've actually been properly introduced to any of each other.
And I'll let you know where my name comes from. Back home when I was enslaved, I was given the name of my team. All my teammates have the same name. I'm on the team of Razorblade Slaughter. So they just put Razor on my back, they tattooed it, and my number on the team was 12. So for all intents and purposes, that is my name, is Razor 12.
They didn't
So
give
just
you
call me
like
Razor.
All right, Razor.
I'm less than human to them. But I proved my worth. I was able to kill 5 guys in combat, which was unheard of. And they said they would let me go. They promised that to people if they were able to kill over 3 people in combat, which is absolutely insane. I did it. I killed 5. They said they would let us go, but fate's a bitch. They just kicked me through a fucking portal, and here I am. They
Well,
laughed at me.
honestly, kind of ended up in the right spot, don't you think? There's food here. There's alligator people. What more could you want?
Say,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm with you guys. At least I made friends right away. Then you see a trickle of blood come down my nose.
What?
I'll kind of like grab a piece of like fucking like oily cloth for rubbing down the hover cycle and kind of dab your nose. We got to get you checked out, man. Is there maybe there's a medical? I saw some healers over there.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to
Yes,
take a
you
Yeah,
guys have
this
noticed that
is-
there is essentially a kind of a psychic healer over here, and there also seems to be another person who's using some kind of technology to literally, like heal what seem to be, wounds, laser wounds on a couple of red circle guys.
And I say, so you're Razor 12. What are the rest of you guys' names?
Well, I am Cyprian Muskrat Toombs at your service.
Name's Komodo Jacoby.
Yes,
Moto.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Komodo.
I'm Keys Burn.
Nice to
Moto,
meet you,
Jacoby.
Keys.
Where do you acquire something like that you had?
You talking about the mech suit?
The
Name.
shiny, that shiny piece of equipment you run in.
Out here we call them glitter boys.
Oh, okay. I was calling him
Correct.
Sparkly Boy. I wasn't too far off.
Took it off a dead guy.
Why was he dead?
Long story.
You know, that kind of happens around here.
I guess people die by the dozen, huh?
What
yeah,
about you,
the
Tombs?
wasteland's a dangerous place.
Indeed,
What about
it
you,
is.
Tombs? I
Apparently-
saw a lot of lightning landing over by you.
Yes, yeah, well, you know, I perform a little bit of magic here and there.
What are you doing out here?
Oh, you know, exploring.
Look, you don't got to give me your security guard bullshit. I want to know the real story.
Well, I do be exploring the further corners of reality now.
My eyes
If
go
you catch
wide.
my
then-
drift. Or my rift, should I say.
Your drift.
You're a
Oh,
rift. Get your
I'm a shifter.
Oh fuck! Even I know about them.
Yes.
Oh, we got people like you back home.
Now, I'm
Ottawa.
not so sure about that. I
indeed.
don't think you've ever met a man like me.
I've heard
Oh,
tales
you're
of
about to make a
shifters
name for yourself.
Oh, you know.
being incredibly dangerous.
Oh, it's dangerous, all right.
I know,
You never know what's going to be on the other side of one of them rifts.
and I know many a crew that have been destroyed just for being in the presence of a shifter.
Well, now,
How
I
do
mean, you adventure at your own risk.
How do you deal with what you summon, what you bring forth?
Oh, it's all immense
Look here.
game. A battle of the wits, some might say.
Just fucking be careful what you bring into this universe.
Of course,
'Cause-
of course.
It's not just you now; it's our lives at stake too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you're just
Like,
gonna yes, us,
Caution
aren't you?
is my middle name, right next to Muskrat.
I say to the guy
Muskrat
who,
caution Tombs.
Yes.
I
yes,
say to the guy
exactly.
who looks like he's sneaking up on us, can we help you, friend?
You recognize him? He's the gunner from the rooftop thing, and he's kind of coming out.
Ah,
He's
that's who he
you know
is.
got very sullen look on his face, and he walks up to the trailer that you guys are talking to, and he knocks on the top. And says, "You guys here, whatever they're looking for, it's on me."
Ooh, I
Oh, shit.
love free things now.
Thank you, man.
Listen, dude. If you saw what I did back there and you thought that was impressive, get me some swords, and I'll show you a real fucking badass time.
Like swords, and so as he does, you see one of the merchants pop up, and he's like, "This is Red Wing and Poem. We actually have a fine selection of Northernga's finest vibro swords. Tell me, stranger, are you a traditional or curved blade weapon?"
Traditional, and I start looking over the swords. I say I need two.
And
I
literally,
need
he
two.
pulls out a case, toss them out, and he's like, "Well, these usually go for 11,000." He kind of raised his eyebrow, looking over at the chicken gunner. The chicken gunner's like, gives him, yeah, come on, man, it's fine. And he says, "Oh, absolutely, yes, sir. Here's the matched and weighted pair, please."
And I take them and I go, and I just start swinging them around,
Yep.
like in a really
For sure.
impressive
They're on
display.
page 259 of the core book. Oh yeah, you put on an awesome kata, and again, not
Yeah.
only are you skilled, but you're a juicer. So these are superhuman speed, superhuman grace, superhuman power maneuvers. literally cutting the air, and the energy of the vibro sword, which could plow through like mega damage materials, is now truly a weapon of in the a scalpel in the hands of a fine physician.
I'm
now that
moving
you
like
have it.
Darth Maul from episode 1, spinning around and kicking
Absolutely,
punch.
just fucking spinneroonies and kinds of cool stuff.
Spinneroonies. So okay, so I'm getting vibros one-handed swords. Okay, so 2 of them, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, they do 2d6. Great. That's fantastic. I'm happy.
Yes,
And,
yes.
I'll ask
Thank
the
you.
guy, hey, so I'm looking for some triax shotgun shells. Got any of those?
Ooh, I mean, I have the Northern Gun equivalent, boss. If as long as we're not too, brand specific here, it's a bit of a seller's market, if you understand.
As long as they fit in the gun.
Yeah, and he's able to set you up with a sleeve of 30 rounds,
Woo!
30 shells.
Thank you very much. Put that
Right.
down.
Now, I'm looking for a magic weapon. I need me a staff. Would anyone around here possibly have
These are
something like
mostly
that?
these are mostly guns and bullets. However, the gentleman, he's a little bit of a recluse, but if you're to this Breaking Badass device over, or this one caravan over here, there's a gentleman in there who has he's our local techno wizard, and he might be
Yes,
able to
yes,
help
yes,
you out
yes,
with something
yes.
like that.
Perfect.
I'm looking
perfect.
for boom gun bullets.
Those are, I mean, those are as rare as like fucking unicorn tears, man. The best we could do is maybe like try to make you some, and that might take some time.
All right. I was just curious. I'll
And then
always help.
metagame, what's going on with that is those are like that's the beta max of this world. Like there's very specific areas that
Got
are going
it.
to have the technology to make boom gun, flechettes. So that's going to end up almost putting you near or around coalition people, because the manufacturing of the glitter boy armor is in the hands of a coalition ally up in Quebec. The Quebecois are the guys who
Hmm.
make it. So their stuff trickles out through the black market. It's not like it's all completely locked down. It does trickle through the black market, but it's hard to get to. At a place that's this remote, you're probably not going to find it, but at more populated places that are more juiced into the black market, you definitely can.
Okay. Well, I should still have plenty of ammo for the time being, so I'll probably check in with the
Yeah, the I
operator for repairs.
there was a discrepancy there too, because I think in one part of the book it says you get 100 rounds, and then I think like when you look at the OCC, I think it
It says
says you
like
started with a
200 or
drum of like
something.
1,000 rounds. Yeah, I was gonna give you the larger number. Whatever the larger number is, we're gonna err to the side of you having more bullets, because Lord knows you're gonna use
Okay.
them.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
I'll check in with
All right,
the
very cool.
operator when it's my turn.
Indeed, indeed. You know, some
Sure,
people
sure, no
say
problem.
less is more, but
All
I
right, so
say more is more.
let's be more. More is more.
Indeed, yes.
Correct. All right, so yeah, there's a woman who's in this the stall over here, Breaking Bad sort of area. And as you walk up on him, he's kind of disheveled, wearing long robes, and he's got bits of equipment on his person and kind of strewn on a bunch of stuff. And as you look up, you can see what seems to be a human face, but these giant, oversized teeth.
Hmm.
That's for you, Toombs. You see that.
Well, hello.
Good day, sir. What do you need?
I am in need of a magic weapon.
Well, I mean, I got weapons, but like, can you be more specific?
I need some sort of spell casting PPE battery weapon.
Gotcha. Like, you want to like throw fireballs at somebody, or what do you want to do?
Well, I mean, yes, projectile attacks would be useful, and also maybe something in the neighborhood of mind control.
Oh man, that's a serious ask. Like whose mind are you trying to control here, man?
Uh, dark minds.
And he kind of puts down his stuff and he kind of lifts up his goggles to take a look at you. He's like, "Hey Jack, I ain't gonna fuck with no demons. You understand?"
Well, you ain't gonna be the one to be fucking with them now.
He's like, "All right, let me see what I got here. That's a weird ask. Come back in about half an hour. Let me see what I got."
It's a weird world we live in.
Amen to that, brother.
Thank you kindly.
And he kind of goes back to fucking with his stuff. The operator is the fellow who kind of can work on mechanical things. That's a Mel. And
Okay.
you wanted to ask him about fixing up the glitter boy?
Yeah, I wanted to see if he could help me with my armor and weapon, getting them repaired.
Sure.
I say
So
hello.
you have a chance to chat with him. Oh yeah, he's a very unusual looking humanoid as well. He's obviously a DB. He's like unnaturally slim. He's got like 8 fingers on each hand. Giant oversized eyes. And he's kind of looking around. He's like, "Yes, hello, indeed. How can I help you?"
Yes, the gentleman who drove in the chicken truck, he said that he was going to help me and my comrades out with regard to what we were looking for here. And I was looking to see if I could get some repairs done to my armor and weapon. I will warn you, it is both are very complicated and somewhat rare. Luckily, I did not receive too much damage. Just some surface level repairs are needed.
And the chicken gunner kind of tells him basically what's going on. And so Meltran's like, "Oh, quite interesting. A challenge. Well, more than just fixing Thresher's local equipment. All right. Well, I'll take a look at that, but you have to give me a moment. I have a few more repairs to do here, and then I can see what kind of costs and equipment might be needed. And if you can afford it, we'll carry out the repairs."
Sounds like a plan.
So to cut to the chase, it takes him some time. He's literally fixing like farm equipment. He goes out and he takes a look at the glitter boy, and the laser damage that's happened to it is kind of like it's charred the chrome finish. So it's something that literally he has to use like nanochemicals and stuff to kind of repolish it in order to get it back. It's not impossible for him, but it's very difficult because again he doesn't have the facilities to really fix up all of the MDC armor and everything around.
All right.
But how much damage is done to your? How much damage was done?
Let me take a look at my character sheet. I did log it.
I hope
It
so,
looks like
because
I
otherwise
took,
I'm going to say
yeah.
half of it's gone.
All right, I took 69 damage to it, and then I
Whew,
took
that's a
7
lot.
damage to the gun.
Okay. He takes a look at the gun. He's like, this thing you know, is an actual tank. The gun itself seems to be totally functional and is wrong with it at all. The damage is a little bit more than cosmetic. You know what I mean? He can for about 4,000 credits worth of trade or black market goods. He can come up with repairs in the equivalence of 14 mega damage,
All right.
and that would be with what he's got, that'd be about the best he can do. He's literally just buffing out laser burns with very fancy and complex polishes, and that's about as much as he can do. The chicken gunner basically agrees to cover that, and you're able to get that repaired to your MDC. Um, from his inspection, it looks like the boom gun works perfectly fine. Nothing has been affected. It just again got scorched a little bit from a laser, but it's still a fucking cannon barrel, so it's perfectly fine.
Okay. And how much damage off of the what I had before? You said 14 less?
Whoop. Let's go over here. 14 more. Yeah. So we've healed 14 points onto your armor.
Okay.
And
Let me just adjust that.
is the chicken gunner hanging around?
Yeah, he's kind of walking around talking to folks. He's drowning his sorrows. You see, he has a large flagon of what seems to be a very heavy wine.
I'm gonna walk up to him and
Yes,
I'm gonna offer
sir.
my hand.
In marriage?
Okay.
Yeah,
Get married and
I
have
could
a
use a
beautiful life.
chicken man. I exit the game immediately as an NPC.
No problem. So the chicken gunner, he gives you, strength and honor kind of, Roman handshake. He grabs you like
Right.
that, and he's like, "You boys are really helpful out there on the range, man. It's been really hard these last 6 months with these marrow eaters popping up.
I'll
They're
be
all
right
on hover
back.
cycles, or they pop out of a holla. We never see them coming. Some of them are invisible. It's just getting so hard for us to engage in any trade with the other settlements, and everyone's just isolating, and we're gonna just fade away."
So the
How
one
close
that
is
I
the
took
nearest
out.
settlement?
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Go for it, Keys.
How close is the nearest settlement?
Well, I mean, clear. The chicken farm is about a day and a half into the woods. Luckily, they're kind of protected their own way, and they've got their own stuff. So we've been trading with them for, as long as I've been here. And then everything about a day's ride from here to the east is not really our territory anymore. That all
Right.
belongs to the natives. So as long as we abide by any of the treaties that we've got, we're fine there. And then down to the south, that used to be an open range for exploration, but about 6 months ago, these marrow eaters started showing up, and it's impossible for us to do anything down there now.
So
The
that's their
one.
home
Now they're
base.
coming further north. Yeah, they seem to be
So
coming out of the south. Yeah.
I want to ask. So
Okay, go for it, Razor.
the one that we killed last, the one whose jaw I effortlessly shattered. Why did he look different from the rest? What was his role?
Well, that guy was a. What we've
I'm
noticed is
back.
they have a little bit of a hierarchy. Like, oh, excellent, excellent. The guys who are essentially larger kind of tell the ones that are smaller what to do. Why doesn't the larger of the two simply eat the smaller? So the larger bandits essentially like bully and domineer the smaller ones into their bidding. The smaller ones are generally, DBs that are like our size, but these larger ones, they get a lot of different names, but I've heard them called broodkill, and they're some kind of demon, but they don't use magic. They use like guns and they use, rail guns and missiles. They don't use like demon stuff.
But he turned
That
invisible.
wasn't.
That's pretty high tech.
I think that's what they do. But we've had other raiders say the same thing, where they were able to take down like a small raiding party of 3 or 4 that was led by one of these guys, and then rather than face down like one of our angels, he kind of motions up to a Samus as it's doing its flyby. He's like, they just chicken out and they'll just turn invisible. Sometimes they'll even ditch their hover bike and they just run.
Well, I guess they probably know most people can't track you when you're invisible. So it's better to let their minions die. So I have a thought here. You guys have a nice little place going. You were very generous in treating us the right way after we helped you. I'm thinking maybe, look, we're a group of weirdos. I think we all have maybe the kind of skills needed to take on these raiders. What if we offered to go south and
I
explore,
mean, I would
see what they're doing?
Stranger, I would recommend not going south less than you got that glitter boy leading the way the whole way down.
Well, I'm gonna be going with them.
Wait,
I'm not missing
why
out on
would
any
we want to
Yeah,
go
fun.
south?
maybe you guys got a shot.
Why do we want to go south?
Well, I'll tell you. This is where the marrow eater raider types have made their hideout. You know what
Ooh,
raiders have, right? They've been raiding a lot of people.
Money.
I'm sure they've got all kinds of shit that
I was
we
gonna
can
say the
raid
same
right.
thing. Best places to go scavenging, raiders hideouts. You just got to make sure you clear out the raiders first.
We could maybe get a fleet of hover cycles for ourselves.
I'm sure there'd be a handsome reward for that too.
Yeah.
Who do you think we could talk to?
Well, I mean, if you're making this is the chicken gunner talking. It's like any of this stuff, you're gonna want to talk to or things. You're gonna want to talk to Gator. You're probably gonna want to talk to Bucky down there. We'd have to make sure that Renzo is on board with it, and then there are some folks that are inside the Citadel that are very key decision makers among the White Square as well. So you'd have to run that by all of them, but who knows? They might be into that.
Who do we approach first?
It's like, well, I mean, your one buddy's over there talking to Bucky already, and Gator's kind of busy most of the day, honestly, boss. I mean, you can probably talk to her after she's adjudicating.
So
Who,
Bucky, you recommend?
Who's fought these fucking marrow eaters the most?
I mean, everybody's got some kind of tale. Either their settlement was overrun by them, or just like me, you know, we just got out by the skin of our teeth and lost good friends along the way. Um, I mean, you could probably talk to anybody in the Bailey here, and they've got something to say.
So is this little area, this little compound, comprised of many different settlements that scatter because they're being raided, so they have to come here?
Essentially, like settlements that have been overrun. You know, folks that were already traveling on their own, and then they run across the raiders. If they know about the Citadel, they've basically been queuing up outside to either come in or to try to trade with the folks here to ready themselves and steel themselves against the Marrow Eaters.
Fuck. This could be lucrative for
Notice
us.
that they're not letting inside of it. Trade activity that's going on is outside only. Only the chicken gunner so far has gone all the way inside the Citadel and come out. Basically, you kind of find that they don't really let like outsiders inside of the Citadel. That's sort of why the Bailey exists. You guys can come out there and you can trade out there, but you can't go inside of their settlement.
Okay, so we're not really in it fully yet.
No. You're imagine an old medieval castle, right? You have the large curtain wall, and then the outside there would be a smaller curtain wall with maybe stables and where they would let the other fuckers hang out.
Oh,
That's where all of this is happening.
It's Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I haven't seen that, but yes, I will agree.
I've seen like one episode,
Okay.
but that's really all you
Then
need
they owe
to
me
know.
money. They owe me
Yeah.
money, and they can pay me and send check. It's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull our crew aside away from this guy. Look, I don't know about you guys. I'm not one to tend to ask for permission when I want to do something. Better to ask for forgiveness for the most part.
I say we go kick some raider ass.
Yeah, let's
But-
go fuck them up.
What if they don't truly appreciate our efforts? It was all in vain.
But we
Well,
did
then we
just get
get
a bunch
out of there
free
with,
stuff, did we not?
Exactly.
Good point. And I'm itching for some action though. I'm rolling my
Same.
swords.
Feel naked outside of my mech.
Now, before we go, there's something we need.
What's
We
that?
need something. We got to find something that'll help deal with this invisibility bullshit. And we got to find something that'll help fight their brood kills. Because clearly lasers
sensor.
and
A heat sensor. We need something that registers heat. What can we get?
I think
And,
I might have a couple
as you
ideas
mentioned
how
that
to deal with
the-
that invisibility.
The Northern Gun Trading guys, the Red Wing Exchange, they say, we have thermal goggles. They have a range of about 1,500 feet.
let me check my psionic abilities and see if I just can do that already.
I'm gonna check
You
my
might be able to do
manual
that
to my
already.
mech and see if I can do that already as well.
I believe some of you guys might be on that. Meanwhile, Tombs, you were looking for what? Basically, you're looking for like a fireball throwing stick type of situation.
Yeah, preferably something that'll assist me in mind control and mind battling a interdimensional entity as well.
Okay, so you specifically want something that's going to help with mind control and mind battling a entity.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I can
definitely
see them if
the
they're
That's
highest.
going to be
invisible.
a
I have thermal goggles.
whoop. We had everyone go thermal
Sorry.
goggles. All right,
My mech's
thermal goggles
eyes
work. Then
have thermal.
okay, gotcha. Um, what Bucky can give for you? He's like, look, man, I got shit that's already made, like ready to go, but that's kind of custom. I got to work that. That's going to take like a few weeks to make, but we can maybe put together something.
I do have to stay local for a little while, so that's doable.
He's like, look, I got this one that's already made. I got this as an ice blast shotgun.
Sounds pretty
A
cool.
ice blast shotgun.
Yeah. You got the magic energy inside you, right? You can summon energies and all that shit.
For sure, for sure.
All right. Well, you channel a little bit into this bad boy right here. He kind of produces it in front of you. And he's like, and you got two barrels. You got one here. He points to the one on top. You got the one here. He points to the one on the bottom. He's like, you let them both go, and you're gonna freeze the shit out of whatever. It'll even freeze mech.
Ooh, good to know. Good to know. Very useful.
I go, hey, chicken boy, where can I get some goggles and where can I get a hover pack?
And chicken boy. I mean, I'm a roof gunner, as it so needs to happen. But yeah, we have our friends from Northern Gun that are traders. They have like regular optics, thermal optics. They also have sight optics for will fit most rifles. You could talk to them, and
Here's the
I'd be more
thing.
than happy to provide some credit for you.
When one of those butt kill things turns invisible again, I want to be able to see them and hit them. So whatever will prevent them from turning invisible or allow me to see them invisible, I need it.
I mean, I think they use magic, man. Honestly, we've had good luck using stuff like thermal optics and infrared, and also area attack using like fragmentation grenade. If they go invisible, we fire off like an anti-personnel device and just kind of spray and pray, and we'll send one
What
or two in the
about
area, and
smoke
if it hits
grenades?
it, we've been able to take them out. Those kind of help, but what ends up happening is it'll usually obscure us, and it totally ruins our infrared sights. So we haven't had a lot of success with smoke. It almost even helps
It
them.
won't be a problem for
If
me.
anything, it's the tall grass when they turn invisible, but we can still see them move through the grass. That'll let a sharp gunner know where they're at.
I
And
have
by
an
then,
idea.
usually it's just you're gonna fill that whole area up with rounds.
I have an idea
Right.
that might prevent them from turning invisible.
Yeah.
If we threw sand, like a large amount of sand at the area where they turn invisible,
Pocket sand.
that sand would stick to them, and then we'd be able to see them.
Oh man.
Obviously, some
There might
flour
be
or
something you
sugar
could
would be
use.
preferred, but those are
There are
hotter
fire
commodities
retardant.
these days.
There are fire retardant projectiles, like fire retardant mini missiles, and I believe they use a foam, so you might be able to like fire some of those off. And if the fire retardant foam catches on them, maybe that might give away their location. We'll have to revisit the nature of their invisibility.
Well, you know what? If we can pick up one of these, an optics band, if you guys have one that does infrared and ultraviolet and magnification, that would be great. Um, looks like
Let me see what
market
kind of
cost.
optics they do have. They don't have all of the greatest stuff because again, this is kind of a a trader that is on the road. Let's see what we got
Yeah.
here. I think the source book might have some stuff if the core book doesn't. Give me just a minute.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the core book. Core book has optics
Yeah.
band from 800 to 1200 credits, and it says fair to good availability.
I like that. I'll take that. So
Now,
these
it is
guys would have it
different
then.
for
They would
thermal
have an
and
optics
circle.
band. I think there's a difference in range. Let's double check. What page was that on the core book?
That is on page 264.
Right
Oh,
here.
okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. Video camera, contact. So thermal imager is just going to give you predator vision. That's going to be 2,000 feet.
Right.
Infrared scope's got the limitations of infrared, but that's also 2,000 feet. What else do we have here? Optics, binocular. Those are gun sights. Yeah,
The
1,600
optics
feet.
band above is 200 foot, but it's much cheaper.
There's the multi-optic helmet. That's going to have a thermal and infrared. Those are both going to be at 1,600 feet. And where is that
Ooh.
multi-optic band? Optics band.
Good
This is
availability.
the kind of the coolest. That's the coolest one. That's going to look like Toombs's goggles, basically. That's going to give you a smaller range, 200 feet. But I mean, you're using a fucking sword, so as fast as you run, 200 feet, blink of an eye.
Nice.
Say, I asked, where do you guys have multi-optics helmets?
Most of those we kind of reserve for guys in the red circle. We'd have to have Renzo's permission before we could sell or trade any of those.
So what you recommend is we do something impressive, and based on that, he might help us out.
Absolutely. I mean, the red circle is all that we've got. That it kind of keeps the citadel protected. From the terrors of the waste. So anything that can take away from what they have to do is going to be appreciated.
Well, do you have much in the way of smoke grenades?
Ooh, grenades. Handheld.
Was that?
Rocket propelled or handheld?
Well, this is a good question. Did we end up getting the RPG from the
Yeah.
guy that was
Yeah,
shooting?
we took the rocket launcher.
You think it would work with one of these RPGs?
Well, maybe
Let's
we
see
should.
here. The one that you guys have is in the source book. Is on. Let me take a look here. It is on
Rocket propelled
page. What
grenades.
fucking page? Rocket propelled grenades. Yep.
Pulse rifle, Borg railgun.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, Borgs and juicers can carry weapons that regular people can't. So that way they can crank out heavy duty damage. So that's why they like things like those sorts of railguns and shit like that.
There's hand grenades.
Yeah.
70 credits for a smoke grenade. I don't see shooting grenades yet, but mini missiles.
I think it's under the. Yeah, it's mini missiles is what it will be, and that's under the mini
Mini
missile.
Mini missiles. Frag and
Under the
explosive.
launcher. Where the hell is that
1200.
thing?
The launcher.
Sorry, hang on a second, guys.
Holding.
Oops, I lost the page I was on. Sorry. All right, here.
Looks like
I'm
we're
trying
on
to
page
find the missile launcher. Shit, where the fuck is it? Maybe it isn't in this book. Haha, that could be the problem.
Unless it's one of these.
That could be the very problem in the thing. Could be in the main book. Main book weapon. Oh, that's not it. Fuck it. Don't worry about it. The chicken guy is covering you anyway. So there are mini missiles that can do fire retardants.
Oh,
Basically,
wait,
that's
you
what
know,
they
I think
use
I
to
see
put
it
out,
under
fires.
fire retardant missiles.
Yes, that should be there.
And are you saying that that could be used as smoke grenades?
Yeah, basically the same deal.
Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll say, who, I can take that rocket launcher, load it with smoke grenades, and look, just so you know, I can see through smoke. So if they turn invisible, if we smoke them, all I'll see is a big blank spot in the smoke where someone's
You'll be
running
able
through.
to see through the smoke where these guys are at.
Yeah, they'll just appear as a silhouette in the smoke, basically.
Useful.
Okay.
Theoretically.
Okay. How would you be able to relay that to the other guys?
Well, I mean, I'd hopefully shoot them, and then they'll see where the explosion, laser blast, and everything's hitting.
I can also see
Gotcha.
thermal while I'm in my mech.
Right, but they'll have, we got one optics band, we got one thermal. This is just a way so I can see, and also give us cover if we need it.
Okay.
So RPG.
Mr. Gunner, where can I get a jetpack?
That's going to be a little bit harder to come by. There are jetpacks. We don't necessarily, have them as part of our deal. The Red Circle guys either use the Samus armor or the large UAR robot. They don't really use jetpacks. You might be able to, find one from basically out in the wilderness, or if
Ah,
you want to hang out here for a while, we can wait until another, group comes in to trade. There might be one among them. I know people have them, but more often than not, folks out here are using bikes. They're using hover cycles.
God damn it, I'm impatient. Guys, can I just ride with one of you until I find something out in the wild? Maybe at one of the camps that we raid?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can find.
Didn't we
I'm
get
hoping that
an extra hover cycle?
I think we got like a couple extra hover cycles.
We did.
Yeah, you're also able to raid some parts out of one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I still
So-
got some those electronics and that extra laser rifle that I was gonna try and trade as well.
Yeah, I think we
Mr.
all
Gunner.
have some stuff to sell.
Yeah.
Mr. Gunner, where are there suspected raider camps?
We don't know where the camps are. Unfortunately, they're able to cover sometimes maybe 100 miles in a day just because they're moving so quick. But we know they're based somewhere south. The folks that we've talked to, the other bands that have been attacked, that's basically what they confirm as well. And from what we have found out from the Comanche, they know that they're trying to avoid coalition. Also, they're not really going any further east. They really are just kind of coming up through where our area is as well. So they've got to have some area where they lay down, but they're also sort of wild raiders. Like they don't have like a chain of command. They're sort of just out on their own, and it seems like there's not really a rhyme or reason to anything that they're doing. They just, if they see something moving and they think they can eat it, they go for it.
Hey, Burster Boy, looks like you're gonna get your wish. We're going to the south.
Do it.
All right. So, you guys have been able to basically re-equip yourselves essentially. Any energy clips that you guys have been filled up on the house. We got a little bit of
Alright.
the damage buffed out of the
Excellent.
MDC armor. You guys are able to get a fuel if you needed some fuel. Unfortunately, we didn't have a jetpack that we could find, but we did get the optics band for Razor 12
My swords.
and
Optics
his
band.
swords.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So make sure you got that stuff dialed in.
Oh, I
you
do.
guys aren't really wounded or anything, right?
No, I don't think I took
No.
really any damage in that fight.
I didn't take any damage, just my armor.
Well, my
However, I
armor-
did lose.
Go ahead.
Andy took some armor damage. I was going to say I
Four.
took
Four.
some ISP damage. So, like I used ISP. So I think you said we could meditate to try to regain ISP.
Yeah. So basically, while this is going on and this is sort of downtime, you could find go ahead. You could find a quiet area, and basically you can go into like your psychic meditative state, and then you're able to regenerate ISP.
Okay, great. Is there any limitation to how much I can regenerate, or is it just like I'll get back up to my maximum?
There's a rate. There is it that you heal at. Give me just a minute. Go back to let's cycle up to your psychic folks. Burster. Oh, wrong book.
Oyster.
Yeah, burster. He's a burster.
Okay. Magic. There we go.
Optics band. Hey, stop that.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Give me a 5-minute break here, guys. I want to use the restroom, and I think I want to roll one up, and then I'll check back in with everybody. Okay?
Let's do it.
Right
All right,
on.
Okay,
cool. 5-minute
All right,
break sounds good.
Yeah. 5-minute break. 5-minute break.
Oh yeah.
Sounds good.
Ooh, this is fun.
I think I'll use the
Yes.
restroom myself.
Okay, same here. Some equivalent.
No,
Ah,
they do have like a bone broth soup. That's mostly what they
Bone
like give to
broth.
people when they show up. Mm-hmm.
I'll take some bone broth soup.
sure.
Yep.
I'll have some
Broth
too.
and chicken
Alex?
stock and all the leftover stuff.
Can we sell some of the stuff that we scavenged?
Yeah.
So I've
Definitely.
got 2.5 laser rifles.
Yeah, me too. I got two laser rifles.
Yeah, we all.
I'm
had-
gonna
we
sell
all had-
one of the laser rifles. I'm gonna keep
Right.
one just in case I need it for something.
You can basically trade it for its equivalent value in credits.
All
So
right.
instead of it being like, here's some money, you're in the fucking post-apocalypse, right? So if you've got a rifle, we'll say that it's worth. Let me look up what the value is on a rifle here.
Is it a
that
Wilkes with
These
the
jokers would have. No, it was nothing that cool. It was just going to be a northern gun, piece
northern
of shit
gun.
laser gun, buddy. Sorry. Yep,
No.
they're using
gun laser rifle NGL5?
in the main
That's
book.
the 3d6 one.
Yes, it should be something like that. Yes,
Is it
sir.
2d6 and a 3d6?
You sound like you're on it. We're say that they were using the 3d6 ones because they were shooting big.
Oh,
All right, so that's the
What's
heavy
the
laser
price say on
gun.
that bad boy?
That one says 16,000 credits.
aye.
Black market.
Well, black market, right? So we'll say that that's worth each one of those would be worth 10K
Wow. Okay.
to make it
Alright.
easy. You know what I mean?
So
I'm gonna sell both of mine.
In trade value.
Trade value. Okay.
Okay, so 10.5. Basically, it'll be or 15K for me because I'm gonna trade. Actually, wait. 25K because I'm gonna trade the full value. And I would like. Let's see. Do they have any laser? Actually, so you know how he got a cold pistol or like a cold thing? Is there anything else like that of unusual weapons that do other kinds of damage?
No, the reason why that's unusual is that it's literally powered by magic. So it's like focusing a cold spell into like a ranged weapon. So it's like using magic to make, anti-plasma, and so that's why it does damage. It instantly freezes things like a Mr. Freeze gun.
And is
Hell
there an
The
anti?
northern
Or should I say, is there a psychic gun that's similar?
Yes. So that gun can be powered by your psychic energies as well. If you would like to purchase one from Bucky.
Yes, if they have a pistol version.
Ooh, let's check what they've got that's pistol version. Basically just kind of the way that thing is built is, it's essentially a double barrel shotgun. I described it as over under, but just visualize it as like a double barreled shotgun. And that's sort of like what's needed to contain, all that magic and shit. Let's see what let me scroll down here. Let me try to find what we've got for our friend the Techno Wizard. See what kind of stuff that he might have that's pistol size. I think they have like a telekinesis pistol, if I remember, and it's exactly what it fucking sounds like, right?
Sounds pretty cool.
That's pretty fucking cool.
So, yeah. Give me a minute to get here. Where are we? Magic combat. That's too far. Sorry about that.
So yeah, I'm gonna sell off my rifles for 10K. Is that what they are?
I mean, I would keep them,
Yeah.
but I don't have rifle proficiency.
Trade value.
I don't want them to trade. And so I'm gonna go up to Chicken Boy, and I'm gonna say, here, these 2 rifles here. I'm gonna put these towards my jetpack for when you find it. I hand it to him.
He's kind of stunned. He is a gunner, and he is like familiar with the quality of weapons and what weapons are. So he's his eyes go kind of wide as he looks at both of them, and he's like, "Yeah, all right. I mean, honestly, we're gonna use these in the militia, but I'll make sure that we take care of this value in trade, man."
And
I
I
give him a
also
high five. High five.
and I'll also give him one of my laser rifles and 5 of the clips I have, and I'm like, I'd like to trade these as well.
To the chicken gunner.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want him to look for and or do with that?
I ask him, are there any bladed weapons that are so massive that only a suit of armor like mine could wield?
He kind of looks around and is like, that could be something that could be built.
Okay. I think that might be worth
We
investing
could
in.
probably ask Meltran to build that. Basically, we take a bunch of smaller, vibro weapons and some of their components and sort of, amplify it and all that kind of stuff. And that's sort of what it would be.
Just
I can look
strap
up the
4
price of a
vibro
giant
swords.
vibro blade and just like,
It's
yeah. Just duct tape.
Let's do it.
Just duct tape them together. Yeah.
a berserk like vibro broadsword, right? Bigger than
The
him.
fucking Dragon Slayer.
Absolutely. Just fucking too big of a fucking thing. All right, let's see here. There is what they have already statted out and already built is called a TK revolver.
EK revolver.
Ooh, telekinesis
Yeah.
What is that?
revolver.
Yeah, and so basically, it has a range of about 150 feet. It costs 3 PPE for you to fire that thing off.
Okay. 3 PPE to fire.
Or in your case, since you're a psychic, it's 6 ISP.
Oh, okay. 6 ISP to fire. 200-foot range or 150-foot range?
150-foot range.
150. And how does it? What's it do?
It does a 2d6 mega damage.
Woo. And it's
Right?
telekinetic
Now,
damage.
are you proficient? No. It's like a bullet. The way you can think of it is this thing is like a focus. It's like the fucking gun from the '84 Dune. It's a focus
Oh,
for your energies. So you're
wow.
going, you're doing the goddamn cha, and it's
Cha.
gonna focus what would be like telekinesis for you to like throw a rock, and then it's gonna focus that, amplify that, magnify that, and focus it all the way down into essentially the same space and area of a bullet, and it's gonna have the same characteristics and activities of
Oh,
a
wow.
bullet. So if you shot a man with that, it would blow his brains out just like a bullet.
Oh.
Okay, great. That sounds awesome.
Yes.
So 6 ISP. Sorry,
And
6.
here's the scoopy. Are you proficient with a pistol?
I am.
All right, so this is the
That's why
thing
I'm
that they
getting
have
pistol instead of
written, I
rifle.
believe, is because this is a revolver, like think of this as an old 6 gun, it's supposed to be so well balanced or whatever that you get an additional +1 to strike with this thing due to its
Nice.
revolver configuration.
Wow.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Very
Holy shit.
nice.
Neato. And that's basically
Pick
a
it up.
1-for-1 trade for one of those rifles. Its cost is 10,000 credits. So your
Oh,
black
wow.
market credit along with its list price, that seems to be an even Steven trade. But that sounds like it's a bad mamma jamma though.
Yeah.
Nice. Holy shit, that's fucking cool. And it doesn't run out of bullets, it just uses my ISP, right?
Right. So should you run out of ISP, then you're out of bullets.
That's
Wow.
cool. That's fucking cool.
That is
That's
pretty cool.
fucking sick.
That is
This
pretty
is the same
awesome.
deal for your ice shotgun there, Tombs. Tombs, if you want to get the scoopy on your ice shotgun. So, oh, what did I do? I went to the wrong one. Okay. For your ice shotgun, the way that guy works is that one requires it does 3d6 mega damage for single barrel, 66 mega damage for the double barrel,
Woohoo!
right? And it
All right.
costs you 16 PPE to charge both barrels.
All right.
So 8 PPE per barrel.
They're mind
That's-
bullets.
And then just
That's
a
per
little
shot.
and then just a little fucking exactly, just a little side note. So this is shooting like magical cold, right? So if something hits this and is like organic, it has to make a save versus debilitating cold, like if it was hit with cone of cold or something like that.
Okay.
So they have to make a magic saving throw, and if they fail, it's like they've got the Sub-Zero effect. They're gonna have negatives to their initiative, strike, parry, dodge, speeds reduced, all that shit.
Excellent.
So
That is
Okay,
just
so
something to
one
think
more
about when
time
you're
on the
firing that off.
on the stats, it's 6d6 per barrel.
Sure. Double barrel,
Okay.
3d6 per barrel,
Oh,
66 for
3d6.
both of them.
Okay.
So what page is that on?
Okay, that's on 137. All right, the range on that. Oh wait, the recharge that's 8 PPE per barrel to recharge it.
Okay.
Right, and
All right.
I'm not seeing the range written there, but
Ooh.
I'm going to have to make a fucking call here real soon. PPE construction. Right, mega damage. We'll give it a little bit better range than the revolver. Let's give it 300 feet until we see otherwise.
Okay, cool.
Now with the laser rifle remaining trade in,
300
which is
feet.
15K, and I'm wearing currently huntsman armor, right? Which is black market normal cost is 24K. I've got 15K trade in, and Bushman full composite environmental body armor is 32K. Could I upgrade to Bushman armor with trading
Totally.
in my armor?
What you could do is you could basically trade. Yeah, you could trade all that stuff in, and then those guys are willing to trade you a set of Bushman armor.
Sick. Okay, so I will upgrade to Bushman armor then. It is full body. Let's see.
Why is it
And it's
called
environmental. So
Bushman
now if you're
armor?
around poison gases, or if you're around things that radiate spores that control your mind or some shit, Now you have protection against that because you're in an envelope.
Thank God.
That's neat.
I hate those mind control spores.
Yes, exactly. Now you guys who are out there just wearing a sarape, you and Razor 12, you just gotta hold your breath. You just gotta do one of these. And that's how you stop that from going on. Yep, just fucking hold it and run at 65 miles an hour like Razor 12 does, and then you'll be fine.
Just
I could
pray.
probably hold my breath for a long time unless I get a bloody nose.
There's some fucking because your physical endurance stat is so high. There's that almost translates, I think, to like minutes you can hold your breath or something like that, or divided by 2. So you could probably hold your breath for 13 or 14 minutes, probably easily, while
Wow.
exerting yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's gonna do some crazy stuff. All right, so that's a nice little haul for you guys. You guys have traded with the group that's local there, and we're able to
I'm
find
happy.
out a little bit of information about these guys coming out of the south and the stuff that they have.
Right.
Again, most of these marrow eaters are known for they're riding hover bikes. Their sort of hierarchy, if there is one, is just the larger ones boss the smaller ones around. And so
Right.
that's sort of the most that you know about, kind of how they work. In particular, the Broadkill demons seem to be ones that are in charge. They're kind of fond of using weapons and technology as opposed to magics, and
Right.
they seem to be, generally coming from or sourcing from the south.
So, guys, do we
Cool.
just want to
Um,
take off and get our stuff back? We got our little cards here that we could give to the guys up front. Get our shit.
Yeah, I think we
the
should.
concierge. You could head over to the concierge and get your things
Get our
and
coats.
ready to head out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I say
The only
haste
thing
makes
we might
waste.
want
Now,
is
did we
if
automatically? Or go ahead.
I was just gonna say we might want to check out if anyone knows anything specific about these creatures before we get there. Maybe someone's seen a hideout. Maybe they can say,
I
they live
asked.
in caves. They live in tents.
Yeah, I already asked that.
Well, you asked a
The
guy,
the
but
Red
he
Wings,
said,
the excursion guys, the guys you're buying the weapons from,
right,
like, hey, we've done a lot of trading, and we were picking up some guys were trading some stuff that they found down south, and there was like a DB site, like some kind of DB vehicle had crashed. It's about probably 70 or 80 miles south, and they traveled light and fast. They were on hover bikes, and they got out of there, with marrow eaters on their tail, and they were able to make it to the perimeter. And then the red circle took those guys out. That was the guy who got executed earlier. So there's been an encounter with a marrow eater as soon as today at that site. But again, they were out scavenging and we were trading with them. They've since buggered off, so we don't really know, where exactly that was, but we do know it was to the south.
right. Well, that's good enough for me.
Cool.
Now,
You know
also,
what? I
Razor,
have
are
a
you
feeling.
taking this hover cycle?
I until I get my jetpack, I have no
Well,
choice.
do you know how to ride one of these bad boys?
I got like automotive. Let's see.
Another one of those things where it wasn't super popular in Atlantis. People like to use levitating discs, and they sort of float around on basically future segways. So he's again not really too versed on hover vehicles.
Well, I have a flight system combat skill, so
So you can operate weapons or something that flies. You know what I mean? Like if you were
yeah.
in a jetpack that had guns on it, you could operate that.
I look at it and I don't want to give away that I don't know how to use it. I go, do you mind if I just ride on your back?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, like I got the bitch seat here. You're good on that.
Whatever,
But
flame boy.
Awesome.
So
You gotta
I
hold
feel
him around the waist.
So I have pilot airplane. Would I be able to ride? Well, no, I wouldn't be able to because I'd be in my mech. So, never mind.
Yeah,
Um,
you can operate actual flight aircraft that go above 300 feet that are self-propelled, and gliders and stuff like that, and you can go up into the higher altitudes with that skill versus a hovercraft, which is going to be land-based and at most is going to get 200 or 300 feet with the most souped-up high-end jump that you pull off, and that's even with like penalties and shit.
right.
If you don't mind me snuggling with you, Flame Boy, I'll ride with you.
Look, as long as you don't mind it warm.
I like it warm.
Now, but I will say
And
about
then
that
Toon
hover
still has a
cycle,
ride, so he's good to go.
Yes, sir.
unless
yes,
he wants
sir.
to upgrade.
Right, Keith?
Well, in which case, why don't we sell off this extra hover cycle then?
Might as
Actually,
well.
unless they'll let us keep it here, docked, right?
One might blow up.
I mean-
Might need a backup.
Exactly.
It depends. Like, are you trying to like trade it to these traders? Are you trying to trade it to the Citadel and the Red Circle? Are you trying
Well, you know
to
what?
sell it for parts? What are you trying to do with it?
What's Chicken Boy's name?
His
Yeah, we should
name
probably
is
get his
he's the
real
Chicken
name.
Gunner, but now he's gonna
Is
have a
it
name.
Bucky?
Bucky is the guy who is down in the Breaking Bad. He is the techno wizard.
Okay, got
The
it.
Chicken
So-
Gunner
Hold
can
on a
now
second.
be forever known as Lieutenant Sanders. He's not a colonel yet.
Amazing, Lieutenant Sanders.
Lieutenant.
I'm gonna say to LT, I'm gonna say to him, "Hey, look, I got this. We got this extra bike. We got this extra bike. I just need you to look after it for a bit. We're gonna be right back. A day or two, tops."
Holden. He says we'll look after this, with our life. We won't even have this out on the bivouac. I'll make sure that this is taken care of with all of the Red Circle stuff.
Great, great. Well, we'll be back, Sanders. Mark my words.
All right. Well, we do chicken right, so y'all come back now.
High five, Chicken Boy.
Chicken Rider.
All right, that's Lieutenant. That's
Chicken Gunner.
Lieutenant Sanders. I didn't go for fucking 5 years in the goddamn chicken military just to be called Chicken Boy. This is an officer.
He's a
This is a
chicken
commissioned
man.
officer in the chicken. He's a chicken man, goddammit. He's the commissioned officer in the
Kentucky
this here
Fried
man's
Forces.
chicken army.
Lieutenant Chicken Boy. High five.
All right, gentlemen. So it sounds like you guys are ready to load up and load out. I think
Yep.
though, looking at the time, I think we should probably call it here if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
down.
Alright.
perfect. Good timing.
I'm going
Cool.
to see Beetlejuice later.
All right, fantastic.
Woo!
Oh, enjoy.
Awesome.
Yeah,
give me
I'm
give me
very
the
good.
full rundown on it because I want to go with my wife. So
Yeah.
All
we're
right.
gonna go
I
anyway.
have
But I
heard
just
that it's good,
I want to
which
hear from
is
someone.
I saw it a
Dinner.
week ago. I thought it was really good myself.
Nice. Excellent.
I saw it
Not as
last
good as the
night.
first
Cool.
one, but still a good movie.
The
Hey,
first
you know.
one was such a classic, man. You
You
know what I
can't-
mean?
you
And then it's
can't
had a chance to
the
grow
first
as a
one.
classic all these years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can't beat the OG.
Well, did you guys
Well,
have
thank you
fun?
so much.
I know
Yeah,
that
tons.
this
Oh,
one
yeah.
did
Oh
not
my
have
God.
combat that the last session had, but
It
I
had
wanted you guys to get a
role
chance
play.
to world build a little and RP
Yep.
and role play, brother.
I like
All
the
right,
Yeah.
that's
it was
where it's
fun.
at. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure everyone had fun.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wanted my
loving the
loot.
voices. I don't usually do them, so I'm trying to do it too with you guys.
That's
I had a
great.
lot of fun with that.
It's
Yeah,
great. No, it's
Meet
fantastic.
each other and learn each other's names. We got to hear Andy's tragic backstory of only 7 years to live.
Which I love. I love that.
Now, a splat ball. Did you come up with
I love
splat
that.
ball, Andy, or is that a thing in Rifts?
I mean, it just made sense to me.
That
Flat
fucking
ball.
sound. I love splat
So
ball.
here's
That
the
rules.
thing, man.
Just lead ball,
There's
dodgeball.
something
Yep.
called dead ball. There's something called dead ball in the game.
Is it
And
really?
again, it's parallel thinking. Yes. Where your
Oh.
idea, they had something similar, but yours is cooler. Theirs was like it was played with a grenade or something fucking stupid. Whereas I would
Oh.
much rather have it played as melee combat, where
Yeah,
you're
that's-
throwing
that's
this thing
cool as
back and
hell.
forth, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to parry it or dodge it. Otherwise, you fucking splatted.
Well,
Right? Like,
here's
I love that mechanic.
here is my idea. we're all SDC beings in our flesh, loincloths,
Yeah.
with MDC
Yes.
like power throwing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love that. That's great.
So you would
I
be
would
propelling
watch
these
the
things
fuck
at
out of
a
Splatball.
scale of like 200 MDC, right? And some guy is running, and he moves out of the way, and he's literally just upper half, boom, gone.
Yep,
And some
gone.
guy
Yep.
is throwing a mace at him, and and then at the same time, if a juicer is able to actually catch that, like what would that look like? How do you catch a spiked projectile without slicing all of your fingers and hands and just Jesusing yourself? Like how do you pull that
No,
off? And
we had
what that would be like?
we had MDC gloves. We had special gloves to catch.
Okay, catchers,
Yeah.
keepers mitts, like
Yeah,
soccer keepers mitts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like
Right,
an
very cool.
exoskeleton arm
So-
thing to throw extra hard, and yeah,
That's it. That's it. Like
awesome.
people were getting their
Dude.
chests caved in and their arms missing, and it's awesome.
All right,
Fucking
this
A,
is
that
this is
rules.
gonna have to make some kind of this is gonna make
Appearance?
some kind of appearance in this world somehow. We got to find a place that's hip to splatball. It's gonna be like like Bronco busting. It's gonna be a regional sport that we'll have to find a region for it.
We gotta
my
go
God.
to Atlantis.
It's very Death Race 2000. I love it.
That's
Well,
kind of where I got my
also,
inspiration. Death Race 2000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Rollerball. I
If
love
the
those
juicer-
old
Rollerball.
school
If the
70s
juicer
movies.
was gonna die,
yeah.
I love the Future Past,
Exactly.
dude. Logan's Run, Rollerball, even up to like Saturn 3, anything where it's like the cathode ray future.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I
Like,
actually I
that's
just
where
picked up a
I want to have sort of
retrofuturism.
that happening.
Yeah, I just picked up a retrofuturism art book at a yard sale today. I found it. I'm like, yes,
Hell yes.
That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Sid needs stuff everywhere. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Dude, that's really fucking cool. That's really fucking
Yeah.
cool. Man,
Splat
I'm
ball.
having a lot of fun. I enjoy, like, this is the stuff, I didn't write that, right? Andy wrote that. And now having that become part of the game and part of the process is what I like, because now this is like a level of the world that gets built.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
all of you guys will have an opportunity to do that. That's why it's like collaborative storytelling. And so instead of it
Love
just me writing something, it's going to be like your backstory and your backstory and the circuit, the circuit of events and the way that you guys deal with the outcomes of them and their outcomes will flesh out a story that's better than what I could come up with.
It's gonna rule, man. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Right
Can't
on.
wait for the next session.
Like I said, this is the 1.5 shot, so we're coming up on about halfway through the material that I have written. I think through the next session, we're basically going to be starting off with you guys hunting down some of those marrow eaters, right?
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Some more
Yep.
violence.
Sounds like an awesome plan, dude. We'll be in touch through the thing for the next session, dude. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Right on. Right
Thank
on.
you, man.
Yeah,
Woo,
looking forward to
awesome.
session 3.
Yes, me too.
Have a
Can't
good
wait.
evening, everyone.
All right.
Alright, take care.
Absolutely.
Arrivederci. Bye bye.
Everybody
Good night.
have a wonderful afternoon.